Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are going to make a fresh start with IELTS reading module, and today we will solve one reading test together. In this test, we have a variety of questions which are important for upcoming IELTS exams. We'll start with part 1, then we'll move on to part 2, and then part 3, and we will do all 40 questions together. Okay? Now, whenever you start your reading, the first thing is you need to read the title of the passage. So what's the title? Okay. Test number? Development of London Underground Railway. Now, as you read the topic, you have to switch on your imagination. You know, in London, they have underground railway system. So you need to start imagining London Underground Railway. Like, just think about trains and all that. And if you read this, they said the development of London Underground Railway. Development means how did they develop it? So it means they will tell us the background, how London Underground Railways were developed. Okay, how did they come up with the idea, what happened, this and that and all that. All clear? After reading the passage, you are not going to read anything other than questions. So please now come to questions. Questions 1 to 6. Complete the notes below. Choose one word only. Now, in IELTS reading part 1, two type of questions are very common. Type 1, notes completion. It can be one word only, it can be one word and or a number, it can be no more than 2 words, no more than 3 words and or a number. So in part 1, sentence completion is very important question type, and the second important question type is true, false, not given. Okay, and by the way, you guys should try to complete your reading part 1 in 10 to 12 minutes. Or maximum 15 minutes, and you can do that also. Because usually in reading part 1, the questions are type A questions. Type A questions are those questions where questions and answers are in order. Okay, and then we've got type B questions. Type B questions are those where questions and answers are not in order. There are only two type B questions, list of headings and which paragraph contains the following information. Otherwise, true, false, not given, multiple choice questions, sentence completion, they are all type A questions. All good? Okay, so now we read the topic. I'm going to read the question. The London Underground Railway. The problem. Can you see there are 3 parts? One part is the problem. Second part is proposed solution. And third part is construction. So problem, solution and construction. Okay. Question number 1. The dash of London increased rapidly between 1800 and 1850. Now look here. The clue word over here is 1800 and 1850. So they might not use the word 1800 and 1850. Instead of that, they can say the first half of 19th century. When they use 18, actually it is 19th century. Now we use 2022. Which century is that? 21st century. Okay, so when they say 1850, 1850 means it's 19th century. So if they say in the first half of 19th century or first 50 years of 19th century something happened, you will just find it, one thing. Second, most of the time you will find the answer of question number 1 in the first paragraph. For 70 to 80% chances are you will find that answer in first paragraph. If not in first paragraph, then it's going to be in second paragraph. Now, what increased rapidly in London between 1800 to 1850? Please come to first paragraph. In the first half of the 1800s, understand? Now, what is first half of 1800s? Means 1800 to 1850. Okay, in the first half of 1800s, London's population grew at an astonishing rate. What grew at an astonishing rate? Population. Come back. And there they say, dash of London increased rapidly. London's population grew at an astonishing rate. So the answer is population. Whenever you find one answer, match that sentence in the passage with the question sentence, and then see how they manipulated the language, how they changed ideas, how they actually reworded the situation or reworded the ideas. Then you will become perfect at IELTS reading. Okay, I call it debriefing. Debriefing means once you complete one test, all 40 questions, then you look into each answer, match the question statement with the sentence statement in the passage, and you'll find more about it. Okay, now we come towards solution. First they mentioned Charles Pearson, but there is no question. Now we read question number 2, please. Building the railway would make it possible to move people to better housing in the... Now listen, better housing. Answer is going to be the location of better housing. Better housing in the city, better housing in the village, better housing where? Okay, so let's go back. Charles Pearson can be a clue word. It's the second paragraph where you find Charles Pearson. I want you to come to 4th line of second paragraph. His idea was, found it? Second paragraph, 4th line from the middle. His idea was to relocate the poor workers who lived in the inner city slums to newly constructed suburbs. Now for newly constructed, they have used the word better housing. Newly constructed, better housing, and answer is suburbs. Okay, now by the way, you need to underline the sentence in the passage which is related to answer number 2 so that you could practice at home. That question number 1, answer is population. This is here. Question number 2, answer is this. It is there. Let's go on. The next question comes right after question number 2. It means answers are going to be closer. A number of dash. Now look here. Whenever they use the word number of, answer is going to be plural. And for number of, they can use any other word. A number of dash agreed with Pearson's idea. Let's go back. Number of dash agreed. Same paragraph. Yes, I'm reading after suburbs. And to provide cheap rail travel. Found it? For them to get to work. Now, third last line of second paragraph after full stop. Pearson's ideas gained support amongst some businessmen. Gained support means businessmen agreed with his idea. When they say Pearson's ideas gained support among some businessmen. Now, gained support amongst, when you give support to someone means you agree with his ideas, right? So, gained support among some businessmen. What is the question? A number of businessmen agreed with Pearson's ideas. Got it? Agreed with Pearson's ideas, gained support. And answer is businessmen. And what is the word for number of? In the passage, what is the word for number of? Some. S-O-M-E, some. Got it? So if you focus like this, academic reading will not be a problem for you. Otherwise, if you're doing tukka stuff, then it's going to be difficult. Okay? Let's go on. Question number 4. The company initially had problems getting the dash needed for the project. They had problems getting money maybe needed for the project. Let's go on. Yeah, it's third paragraph. They had problems getting something. So I'm reading the next third paragraph from the beginning. Please follow me. 2 groups merged and established the Metropolitan Railway. Now come to next line. Company's plan was to construct an underground railway line from this and that. Now come to third line, please. GWR station at Paddington to the edge of city at Farrington Street, a distance of almost 5 kilometers. Now let's see. The organization had difficulty. Underline the word difficulty. Difficulty means problem in raising the funding. Problem in raising the funding. For raising, they use the word getting. In the question, they use the word had problems getting. In the passage, they use the word difficulty in raising. Understand? So you need to learn it like this. So over here in the passage they said they had this difficulty in raising, and in the question they say problems getting, and answer is funding. Only fund will be wrong answer because grammatically it will be wrong. Funding needed for project. Got it? So in the blanks, whatever is written before the blank or sometimes after the blank, that makes a lot of difference. Now we go on. Question number 5, please. Negative articles about the project appeared in. Now where do we have articles? Articles usually appear in the newspaper. Okay, so they said negative articles means they criticized. Negative articles about the project appeared in the dash. Same paragraph. After funding. Let's read on after funding. For such a radical and expensive scheme, not least because of the critical articles printed by the press. Well done. Printed by the press means printed in press. So the answer is press. Got it? Again, I'm telling you, you must repeat this test at home. Wherever you find the answer, write question number there. For example, press is the answer of question number 5. Write there 5. When you go back home, you can practice, read the question again, read the passage again, and this is how you will improve your reading skill. Now we go on. The last part here is construction, and you guys can see 2 points are without any question. So construction, and then they say chosen route. Okay, second is cut and cover. Now can you guys find cut and cover in the passage? Just scan cut and cover in the passage. Next page. Okay, you found it. Now it means answer is going to be after this. Do you understand? This is what we call scanning. It's the first paragraph of second page. Got it? Third line, cut and cover. Mil gaya sabko? Answer is not there. We know this is the location. I mean, you read a couple of lines after this and you will find the answer. Now let's read the question. I'm reading question number 6. With the completion of the brick arch, underline brick arch, it's your clue word. With the completion of brick arch, the tunnel was covered with dash. When they completed brick arch, they covered the tunnel with something. Now, what is it that they covered the tunnel with? So please, let's read after cut and cover. Found it? A trench about 10 meters wide. Mil gaya sabko? Okay, a trench about 10 meters wide and 6 meters deep was dug, and the sides temporarily helped up with timber beams. Brick walls were then constructed, and finally the brick arch, now be attentive, brick arch was added to create a tunnel. A 2-meter deep layer of soil was laid on top of the tunnel and the road above rebuilt. What did they do? Yeah, they covered it with. For covered, what is the word? 2-meter deep layer. The word layer is for covered. 2-meter deep layer of soil was laid. So with the completion of brick arch, the tunnel was covered with soil is the right answer. Okay, as we say matti, uske par matti dal di, matti se bhar diya. So soil is the right answer for question number 6. Now you might have noticed in this part questions and answers are usually in order. Sometimes luckily you will find all the answers in 1 or 2 paragraphs. Otherwise in one paragraph 1 to 2 answers, next paragraph 1 to 2 answers. So the best way is, like over here they said problem, then they said proposed solution. So from proposed solution, we have the word Charles Pearson. So you will always find a clue in the question. Sometimes don't try to find the clue directly. For example, when we did question number 6, we found the clue of the previous sentence and then we came to this answer. So sometimes the previous sentence or the previous point will give us the clue and we can scan and then read. Remember, if you read excessively in IELTS, during your IELTS reading test, you will never be able to complete it in 1 hour. But if you scan and then read, scan means you reach the point where there is the answer and then you read about it, then you will find your answers easily. Okay, and of course you need a lot of practice and solve as many tests as possible, right? Thank you.